Legend of Yore is a really cool and addictive roguelike dungeon crawling RPG. It uses old school graphics and it's really fun to play because it's casual and you can turn your brain off while you play it. This game is really addictive and really fun. This game is as fun as this kitten is cute. And by the way, her name is Chloe. She likes napping, long walks down the living room, and her favorite color is pink. The game has three basic character archetypes: the warrior, the archer, and the wizard. They're all good at some things and bad at others. For example, the wizard obviously uses long-range attacks, and he uses something called charge, but it's basically mana. He shoots various missiles that he has or new spells that he can buy from stores or find in dungeons or outside. And he, of course, runs out of charge, so you have to walk around a little bit to recharge your charge. The archer archetype is also long-ranged, but he uses something called Zen. And as the name suggests, it's not something hostile. You see, you actually have to stand around a little bit and your Zen builds up. It's basically like a focus. And when your Zen is completely full, you do more damage. But not only do you do more damage, the biggest thing this does is make you crit really hard. So a lot of times, you can just crit an enemy and just one-hit kill something that would normally take like 5 shots. Now, this Zen thing is kind of a cheat because you can just stand around while there's no enemies and completely fill up your Zen to the max, and you'll just be a super powerful archer all the time unless there's just way too many enemies all over the place. So I find the archers are a bit overpowered because of this Zen dynamic. The third character archetype is, of course, the warrior, the strong melee class that can take a lot of damage. Their bar is the rage bar, and this bar fills up as they take damage. Basically, as they fight enemies, they become enraged and they get stronger. The rage bar, however, falls when you don't fight, so you're never really at your strongest capacity while fighting enemies, unless there's like a whole gang of enemies swarming on you. That's really where the warriors stand out from the other two characters. When it's a bunch of enemies coming at you from all sides, it's when the warrior shines because his rage will be completely filled up. Any other time, I think the archer and the mage archetype characters are actually a lot better. Also, you have to keep in mind that a lot of this game is dungeon crawling in dungeons, so there's really not a lot of range you can have because you walk into a room and an enemy's like right there or a few squares away from you. And also, you gotta think about corners. A lot of times enemies are behind corners. So, of course, mages and archers are also best when you're outside. You know, it's just common sense. This game is a very prototypical RPG. It's very simple. You have like just a few people in town and they give you quests, and then you can get other quests as you progress through the levels. You can obviously find equipment, level up, get bigger and stronger, buy equipment and spells. It's very prototypical of an RPG, and because of that, if you're anything above intermediate while playing RPGs, you can turn your brain off and play it. This is the perfect game to play like on the train. It is for the iPhone. That's how I play it most of the time. But it's also, you can play it on the computer. I'll give a link in the bottom where you can just play it for free on the computer. It's a really fun game, and you can just turn your brain off on the train, go into work or school and play this. And you can turn your brain off while doing anything else and play this game. Like, you could be listening to the radio and playing this game. You could be talking to your friends or your relatives and playing this game. This game does not require thinking. It's just fun hack and slash action without the hacking and slashing, because the way you fight enemies is you just run into them. You can obviously just use the movement keys on your keyboard, or you can click somewhere and that also moves you around with your mouse button. This is actually probably the most useful way to move around because it's just faster. Like, a lot of times when you need to cover a lot of ground at once, you click somewhere and he just automatically, your character automatically just goes there, whereas you would have to click the movement keys a whole bunch of times to actually go there. As you can see, this game is not graphically amazing. It's actually pretty jerky. You see, it's like 1 frame per movement, so there's nothing amazing about this about the graphics of this game, but again, if you love games like this, dungeon crawling, roguelike RPGs like this, you know it's not about the graphics. It's just about how fun it is to get bigger and stronger and getting new equipment and finding hidden passages and finding treasures with treasure maps and doing quests for NPCs, and all of that is really well presented in this game. Legend of Yore for the smartphone and the PC gets an official stanburdman rating of an 8.5 out of 10. It's a fantastic game of its genre. I totally recommend playing it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, my friends.